Welcome back from the bench, everybody. As always, it's Eric, and today we're back with the second $60 hobby box, 21-22 extended series. Got this last weekend at the Halifax Card Show. Should have bought way more. I told myself while I was at the show I should buy more, and I've been regretting it ever since. That and the boxes of Series 2, or that $120 box that I bought and opened up on the last video. Definitely should have bought more of all of this, but definitely didn't because I'm not the brightest person in the world. So we'll turn the camera around and we'll get right into it. Backdrop is essentially some of the things you're looking for in this product. So you can get mascot cards. You can get the black ones too, which are the shorter print, like any canvas. The black are just a shorter print for cards. You get the tribute Young Guns, so Cole Caulfield, everybody from this draft class, from 21-22. So Sider, Caulfield, McTavish, Raymond, you name it, you can get them. And then kind of, I think maybe the biggest Young Guns from this set is JJP. It might be the odd other guy. Holtz is in there, Turcotte, but not really. Schmid obviously took that title for an afternoon when the Devils were going crazy in the playoffs this year. But JJP, I think, is probably one of, if not the most. Seth Jarvis, I guess, is still pretty decent too. So let's get right into it. We get 24 packs, 8 cards per pack. And then you get, with a hobby, the chance of hitting things like exclusives, clear cut, high gloss, all that other good stuff. So here we go. Starting with Austin Matthews and that terrible mustache. Just a terrible hairline overall. We got Linus Ullmark. And we're going to start off with the tribute Young Gun for the Detroit Red Wings. It's a pretty good one. Moritz Seider. So last box we hit the Caulfield. This one, we're hitting the Seider. Probably, the second best one you can hit in this. I guess Zegras is up there too. But really one of the top 5 tribute Young Guns you can hit in this. So there we go. Mort Seider starting us off with a bang. We got Gritty, we got Caulfield, we got Peterka, and now we got Seider. Pretty good start to this one. Tyler Bozak, Lozon, Mitch Marner, and Goligoski. So pretty good start to this, not going to lie. Recording this on Friday. I was going to record this last night. And then I ended up passing it on the couch because I'm an old man now. That's the way the life works. Duncan Keith, Cam Atkinson, Tyler Pitlick, and a regular canvas for the Seattle Kraken. This is a Jared McCann. Still makes 0 sense to me why A, Pittsburgh traded him, B, Toronto traded for him and didn't protect him. Just from one franchise to the next doesn't make sense. Why that man was treated the way he did, because he's a good player. I think both those teams would have probably really liked having him on the team instead. Yaroslav Halak, Vince Dunn, Jackie Aces. We got Isaac Lundstrom, and our first regular Young Gun is going to be for the Coyotes. This is Cam Deanan. Deanan? We get Cam. So Cam showing up here as our first Young Gun. Tanev, Strawman, and Evander Kane, who I think injured for this playoffs, but still didn't end up doing the greatest, like most people in the move this mouse a little bit. Like most of the Oilers, other than the McDavid and Draisaitl for pretty much ever. They just got to find some depth scoring. I don't know how they find it, but they got to find some somewhere. Michael Raffle, Revo, Heinen, Andreas Johansson, and our next Young Gun is going to be for the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is Danil Tarasov, which I think is not actually a terrible name. No, I mean Danil or Tarasov. I just mean I think he's a decently young goaltender, and I think he has promise. If I remember correctly, maybe I'm totally off. 99, so he'd be 24. Just turned 24, so in goalie age. Usually if a prospect's that age for like a forward or defenseman, you're like, they're over the hill. But not always when it comes to goalies. Goalies typically, if you get a goalie in like his early 20s in the league, you're like, whew, that kid is flying. But usually most of them come in the league at like 23 or something like that. So Victor Arvidsson, Bellemare, Freddie Gaudreau, and regular tribute. This is nephew Tyler Bertuzzi, Grubauer, Tage Thompson, Nick Ritchie, and Evan Bouchard. My cat is like watching birds behind you. I have essentially the basement has a bunch of windows and big windows, so he sits on the ledge. This is a big ledge, and he sits on the ledge and then watches all the birds in the backyard. So Vasilevsky, Formenton, Kotkaniemi, and Anton Lundell off to the Stanley Cup Finals with the rest of the Panthers. Ranta, Samford, Makar, and Sam Carrick. But yeah, I suppose I was going to record this. I kind of was waiting until I was thinking, well, if Vegas sweeps, and that's a cool, I can talk about the Stanley Cup Finals after that, or, whatever. Obviously didn't happen. So here I am the day after. We'll get into it here in a second. James Reimer, and their French variant is Nick Leddy. So no French young gun this time. Joe Thornton, Marchie, former Moncton Wildcat, Brad Marchand, and Ryan Murray in the background. So I don't know if Dallas is going to be enough. Like, 4 straight games against any team is hard, especially when you're down by 1. Ottinger could just go like full-blown crazy mode, but Bobrovsky, I feel like he'd have at least one more game like that in him also. We got reflections. This one's going to be not too bad. Lucas Raymond, 100 out of 300. This is, I think, a purple parallel. That's a pretty decent hit. It looks like it's a good little Detroit Red Wings box so far. If they had Detroit for a break, they'd be feeling pretty good right now. But Lucas Raymond, definitely not the season. I think that whole Series 2 Young Guns class, I don't think a single one of them had a good year overall. But Lucas Raymond, obviously had a down year. Sider did too. It's just, I think everyone kind of thought Detroit was going to be like in the Stanley Cup playoffs and next level and everything else, and they just kind of didn't take that step, unfortunately. It's hard. It's a hard league to win in. Brian Elliott, Clutterbuck, Seth Jones, and another reflections. This one's out of 100. This is keeping going with the Jordan Eberle. I don't know why we have 2 back-to-back reflections numbered. This is 54 out of 100. Jordan Eberle, who, if you followed the last extended series video, I pulled 3 separate Jordan Eberle hits. And now we got a Jordan Eberle out of 100 also in this. So kind of the cool thing about extended, I talk about it all the time, but this kind of like a nice little color match too. But just a lot of numbered hits. So I think that's a good thing for Upper Deck to have, especially for like inserts and stuff like that. Extended series does it right. Now, also, speaking of extended series, the Young Guns crop and the checklist came out for this year's extended series, and we'll talk about it right after this. The Black Diamond, it is a 1 diamond. This is Vasily Podkolzin. Kind of got lost behind Kuzmenko this year, but Vasily Podkolzin. It is bad. I don't know a price that I would want to open it. Like this 6 years extended, at least you have, I guess you still have the tributes and stuff. But at least you have like JJP, you got Seth Jarvis, you got a couple guys, right, that are like, okay, it is rough. Like the one guy from Detroit, and pull it up over here. Oh, hit another clear cut. This one's gonna be Evan Rodriguez, Colorado Avalanche legend, Evan Rodriguez. And the clear cut. So we're back-to-back clear cuts for our extended series. I don't know if it's just they were produced less or what. Like, maybe not as many boxes for extended series, a series 1 or 2. I just find you're always seeing like clear cut hits and exclusives hits, all this stuff. I feel like you're hitting all of those in these boxes. So hey, and a clear cut of anything is pretty good. I'm just looking up here. There's no editing for this, people. This is all extended series. We'll go through the checklist here in a second. Nathan Bastian, Logan O'Connor, Connor McDavid, and another tribute. This is Brock Besser. The more geeky, Yanni Gord, Nolan Patrick, and Tage Thompson. Nolan Patrick, first overall pick. Obviously had some injuries, everything else. But the guy's, career just never took off the way it was supposed to. Especially when you look at who got drafted after him. You got Cale Makar, you got Miro Heiskanen, all these other guys. There's a couple missed picks there for Philadelphia. Next up, this is some kind of patch. Oh, this is just a finite. This one is Quentin Byfield. So this is out of, once again, 2999. So 2984 to 2999. That's only 15 off of his off of being the final one produced. Okay, so we go finite. There's just a cheap little card. Probably, I'm not sure what it was, but probably $2, whatever popped up underneath it. For a rookie of the right guy. I'm sure there's some rookies where they're worth absolutely nothing, but we got Matt Waugh, Trennan Schwartz, Peter Mrazek, and next up for the Canadiens, Matthias Norlinder. So we pulled this guy last time, pulling him again. So back-to-back Norlinder boxes. I know now from looking at last video, it's like a $2 card. Checklist for the Young Guns. This is so bad. This is we have Jonathan Bergeron for the Detroit Red Wings. Pretty much your great big chase of this one. Who else was it? I think that was pretty much it. Kirill Marchenko for the Blue Jackets. Essentially all he did was score goals. No assists. I think he was like 17 goals, no assists at one point for the Blue Jackets. He's, I guess, another one. And it's a lot of just really bad. And then they had the first round rookies thing, which it's guys that were drafted in the first round. I don't know what those are going to look like. They didn't have any previews for those. I do know that there's 3 Colorado Avalanche players in that Young Gun checklist. They have 12 games between the 3 of them. 12 NHL games between the 3 of them. For a combined 0 points. That is all you have to understand about this Young Guns class coming up in extended. You have 3 players from one team that have played a combined 12 games for 0 points. So bad. So bad. Alexander True next up for the Blue Jackets. We got Jacob Voracek. Middleton, Ferguson, Huberdeau, and Alexiak. Calgary Flames fans, if you're in here, let me know how you feel about that Tkachuk trade. Does it hurt right now? I just assume it does, right? I feel like this is like I guess it's a lesser version of like the Kadri trade for Maple Leafs fans. But, or are you happy for the guy? You're just like, oh yeah, you know what? At least we got something back for him. We get a first round pick for him. We got, a couple other guys. This one's for the Penguins. This is Casper Bjornqvist. There you go, Casper. Sean Pierre, he looks pretty pale, so that Casper's pretty much a dead-on name right there. Jake McCabe, Nick Foligno, and Dickinson. I don't know. I think at Calgary, at least he told you he didn't want to come back. At least he got something for him. Huberdeau obviously didn't have the great year last year. But still, you also get the defenseman, Uyghur, and then you also get a first-round pick. So it's a pretty good trade. I still think for Calgary fans. I know it probably still hurts, but we got former Moncton Wildcat Keith Yandel, Gosterberg, Logan Brown, Branson. And our next young gun is for the Kings. Sean Dursey. It's not a terrible name. Sean Dursey. Just as hoping for it. Not that he goes for a whole lot, but that Alex Turcotte just has a little more upside. There you go, Sean Dursey. We're just flying through this box. Also, here, I'll just show you real quick. I don't really do a whole lot of these, but my latest pickup video. These are stuff. I pick a lot of stuff up and get picked up in the States, and then I get shipped to like ship my cards. That's a lot of what I do. The odd time I'll buy some stuff from in Canada. Essentially, it's usually just cheaper stuff. It's usually just like shipping's expensive. You got to pay tax on it. So any like higher end items, like anything over like $100, I just get shipped to the US, or I just find it in the US just because at that point it's an extra $15 Canadian for me if it's $100 with taxes and stuff. So I'd rather ship it to the States, avoid the taxes, all that other stuff. Obviously, there's still some shipping, but it still makes sense. So picked up a couple cards. We got Yuri Prochaka. Yeah, we got Yuri. 109 and 175 are the two numberings out of this. Just a couple of UFC cards. They were like cheap. I think like $1 or $2, plus shipping. But former champion, gave up his belt, but could definitely come back and win it again. So I picked up a couple of him. Picked up 2 Joel Hoffers. I just think looking for ones I can grade. I think he might end up being the goalie for the Blues next year over Biddington. Who knows? But just trying to find some stuff of his that I can maybe grade. Also an extended series guy. So there we go. And then last but not least, I bought this like 4 days before, maybe a little bit before that. Before he decided to go stomping on people's legs. But Joe Veleno, Genesis is a St. John Sea Dogs Leaf 17 out of 25. Mr. Exceptional Status himself. It's a New Dawn card. I live in New Brunswick, so you get the odd like St. John Sea Dogs fan, everything else. Thought it might be an easier sell around here. Same thing, was only a couple bucks. Like I said, he goes and starts stomping on legs in the World Championships. I seen it. I was like, of course, I just bought this card. Maybe now it's gonna like make everybody hate him. But I guess if you're a Sea Dogs fan, if you're a fan of the Sea Dogs getting an autograph card, numbered, low numbered, you probably don't care anyways. But Tucker Poolman. Next one is for the Dallas Stars. This is Ryan Suter. Just throwing games away. I know if you guys listen to the Gong Show Hockey Podcast, they talk about a lot of like sports, like hockey cards and stuff like that. They're Minnesota Wild fans, and they cannot stand Ryan Suter because they watched him play for many, many years. So they are not fans of his in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, seeing him was game 1 or game 2, he just wasn't hard enough for the puck. Couldn't get it around, and then it leads to a big goal. Corey Perry, rumored to go to the Leafs. I don't know. They might need a little toughness. I don't really hate that. And then we got for the Hurricanes, there we go, Seth Jarvis. So pretty good hit there. Obviously getting swept in the conference finals. Rob Brindamore said that they didn't get swept. That he watched the games. They did not get swept. I don't want to say anything mean because Rob the Bod could definitely beat me up. But you did get swept, Rob. That's unfortunately the way it is. End of the day, I understood what he meant. Like, yes, we got swept, but we had a pretty good series and we held our own. And, all 4 games are a 1-goal game. Like I said, everyone's just kind of trashing on him because he's like, we didn't lose this series. We didn't get swept. Well, yeah, he did, but it was just a really close series. I understood what he meant. I was in Carrier, Brosant, and another one of these holographics. This is William Eklund, fan favorite over here at the bench. Dylan, Joseph Giordano, and Derek Brassard. 4 packs left. If you guys haven't yet, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Not sure what the next video is going to be. Haven't opened it. Haven't got anything yet. Probably should order more stuff. I might do like a PSA prepping video. got a bunch of stuff that I want to send out. So maybe I'll do a video on that stuff and make a fun little video for that. Guess the grades before I send it out. So next up for Nashville, my boy Matty Duchene. Always gonna be a fan of that guy. But David Savard, former Moncton Wildcat. Don't get to say David Savard very often on this channel, but David Savard, former Moncton Wildcat, just got named as was it QM8? It's a podcast revolving around like the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, and they named him to the all Moncton Wildcats team. Connor Garland, Ivan Barbashev, Steve Bernier, Keith Yandel, David Savard, and Corey Crawford. That's the all-time Moncton Wildcats. So pretty good list. The only thing I think it's pretty much bang on. Maybe I'd trade out like David Savard for like a Pelche or something like that, or Steve Bernier but Steve Bernier was so dominant when he played in Moncton, so it's hard if you're going but just off the time. But Black Diamond, it's a 4. Oh, there we go. Get Ovi showing up in the 4 Black Diamond. So the diamonds are the amount of like what the level the guy is. So a 4 is like means that he's a really good player, obviously. So a 1 would be like Colin Blackwell. Colin Blackwell's not in that series, but just a lesser end player. So 2 packs left. Let's see what we can get here. Boakfist, Yarncroc, Connor McMichael, Jared McCann. What is stuck here? Who's this? Niels Lundqvist, now over on the Dallas Stars. Definitely don't think I would have traded a first round pick for him, but who am I to say? The Dallas Stars are in the conference finals, and I'm sitting here in my basement recording videos of me opening up cards. So, obviously maybe they know a little more than I do. Maybe just a bit. Last pack. Thank you guys for watching once again. Montebo, Will Butcher. Remember he held out. He was supposed to be a Colorado Avalanche, and he ended up going to New Jersey instead. And there we go. Rupe Hintz. This one is the retro, the tribute, whatever you want to call it. But Rupe Hintz obviously has had a really good playoffs. Pretty good box once again. $60. Tax in. Show special. Just for the show. But we got Mort Sider. We got Seth Jarvis. We got numbered Lucas Raymond. We got Sean Dursey, who's an NHLer. Tarasov might be a decent player going forward. We got another one. We got a numbered of Jordan Eberle. And then we got a clear cut of Evan Rodriguez. Not a bad box. Once again, $60. I will take that risk every day of the week. The potential, like I said, just the fun part of it also. And it is what it is. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed this. Make sure you make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. I promise. I'm literally going to go post something right now on my Instagram. So if you guys are seeing this, go check out my Instagram and comment on the last post. And for Eric from the bench, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.